creativity,
education,
pleasure,
confidence,
collaboration, loyalty,
community,
equality,
stability,
communication,
diversity,
health,
voices,
security, commitment,
talent,
freedom,
hope, time,
love,
happiness,
power, trust, dialogue.
We, the 53rd International Students Committee, have confronted ourselves with different scarcities.
We know our future hangs in the balance.
And we want to be a part of the solution.
This is why we ask ourselves,
how do we build a safe future worth living in for us and our children?
Can we foster a sense of unity?
How can we support each other in being the best version of ourselves?
Do we strive for more or do we thrive with less? What kind of influence do you have on the world around you?
We have taken the past 9 months of our lives and fully committed to organizing this year's St. Gallen Symposium.
To bring some of the world's greatest minds together.
You are one of them.
Take responsibility.
We've carefully considered our words for this moment, and I would like to start with a letter I wrote to myself. Dear future me, it's the 2nd of May, 2024. I live in Switzerland, and I'm studying at one of the best universities in the world, right here in St. Gallen. I feel so privileged, but at the same time, I feel lost and worried. Every morning, I scroll through the news and I gasp. The headlines are depressing, and I can't help but wonder what's really going on in the world. What's right? What's wrong? It's all a blur. I'm stressing about the impact of my own choices. Do the things I do really matter in the big picture? And then there's the world stage. How is it possible that a country like the United States, candidates for the president have to be over 70? And no one seems to have a solution to stop the war in Ukraine. Is war our future? And then there's me. I feel pressure as a young woman to pursue a career, and I don't feel the support to have a family at the same time. Is it even ethical to have kids? Most of all, I wonder, where are my role models? Who guides me through my inner dialogue and provides guidance? Could it be you? So, future me, I hope when I read this letter again in 5 years, things will have gotten better. I want to be part of the change necessary to make things better. And I need you. Yours sincerely, Alisha.
Did you just applaud for the great mood you put us in?
I think they're not just applauded, but some of them even are still smiling. Alisha, do you want to go again?
No, I think I've said it all. But those are the questions we really ask ourselves. And remember, Sophia, we said we wanted to reach a deeper level.
That's exactly what we want. We're convinced that those topics need to be brought to the table and the tough questions need to be discussed. That's the only way we'll reach mutual understanding and progress. So, based on that, how will we lift the mood again and make him think it actually matters to be here?
I think I have an idea.
Okay, go ahead.
The sign at the entrance when you were coming in states, "Welcome to the place where the future is shaped." It's about us. It's about you over there. It's about all of you here in the front row, but also the ones standing there in the back. It's about us, how we're going to shape the future. It's about us, what actions we take now. And mainly, it's about us, how we're going to use these 2 days here in St. Gallen. I think we all agree that change is necessary. But being a role model is not merely about words. It's about actions. It's about embodying the values we believe in and leading by example. It's about walking the talk, and demonstrating that change is possible.
See where you're going. It's about taking ownership and responsibility. It's about leveraging our influence within the realm of our capabilities and sometimes even pushing beyond the boundaries of what we once thought possible, right?
But what can one person do?
Stand up, for example.
Now, Alisha, some may argue that one person alone cannot change the world. And still, I challenge that notion. For it's often the actions of individuals, empowered and inspired by collective vision, that embark the flames of change and light up the way forward.
And look around you. We are not alone. We're not just one person, but many brilliant minds with diverse experiences. So let's use the fact that we're all here together and use the next 2 days.
We've also been trying to make a statement this year.
And not just with our pink suits. We take pride in being the first 3 women to lead this initiative in its 50-plus year history. And we couldn't have done it without our amazing team you see on the wall behind us. Right now, they're all running operations in the background, ensuring everything runs smoothly for your experience here. But nevertheless, these lines are for you, dear team. Words can't even begin to describe how proud we are of you and how enriching this year has been. We want to thank you all for your unique ideas, great team spirit, and hard work. Seeing everyone grow has made this year extra special.
Thank you for your consistency and commitment, with all ups and downs, growing individually and as a team.
And we're sure the friendships you made in here will last a lifetime. So for you, dear audience, please make sure to stay till the closing ceremony so you get to see them up here on stage. And for now, I think they deserve a big round of applause.
As we embark on the journey of the coming days, filled with sessions, discussions, challenges, and inspirations, I invite each and every one of you to fully engage. And don't stop after those days. Take these conversations with you, carry them out into the world, and let them ignite new ideas and perspectives.
And go even further. Dare to ask the questions that scare you, the ones that lay beneath the surface, and challenge the status quo.
Let's move beyond small talk and weather discussions. And I know for the ones that are coming here more often, they know that the weather is always quite surprising here in St. Gallen. But instead, take the courage to engage in deeper and more meaningful discussions. Let's embrace this opportunity to be agents of change, to be role models for a better future, and to leave a lasting impact that exceeds the boundaries of time and space. Let's be open,
courageous,
and honest.
So, let's start confronting scarcities together to create the dialogue we need to lead with the next generation in mind. And with that, we welcome you to the 53rd St. Gallen Symposium.
You're not quite done with us yet. Together with Catherine Cleaver-Ashbrook, Sophia and I will lead you through the program of the next 2 days right on this stage. As our first act in this role, I would like to let you know about our conference chairpersons. Those who have been with us for a few times will know that Lord Brian Griffiths and Dominic Barton have been conference chair people for many, many years. This year, I would like to introduce you to the new co-chair. Roshni Nadar is here with us for the first time in St. Gallen and would now like to address a few words to you. Thank you very much.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, students, distinguished guests, fellow participants and future leaders. I'm a little bummed I didn't get the pink memo, since I'm the only woman co-chair. But so I'm in black and I'm boring, so I try to keep it a little colorful. I'm truly honored to serve as a co-chair for the 53rd St. Gallen Symposium, along with Lord Griffiths and Dominic Barton. Thank you for having me here. I'm truly humbled to be here. I have been reflecting on this year's theme of scarcity. If you read the theme brief, scarcity of workforces, scarcity of natural resources, scarcity of food, scarcity in supply chains, scarcity of energy, scarcity of security, scarcity of the basics, from developed nations to emerging nations and lesser developed nations. But one of the questions which was playing in my mind is, what about the scarcity of leadership? And by leadership, I just don't mean political, but across all disciplines, across all organizations, within organizations. I come from and live in India. What immediately comes to mind when one thinks of India? That we comprise 18% almost of the world's population. Abundance. The largest and the youngest labor force. However, abundance creates scarcities. The abundance since the Industrial Revolution of economic as well as social ecosystems have in many ways led us to the scarcities that we're experiencing today. Further, the nature and the imbalance of scarcities varies across nations. Let me narrow down India a little further. The state of Uttar Pradesh. It's the largest state in the country with a population of almost 250 million. That would make it the 5th most populous country in the world. We don't even have to think of India. In 2009, I founded a co-ed residential school in this state called the Vidyagyan Leadership Academy to offer free education to rural, underserved, but highly meritorious and gifted students. The highly meritorious and gifted students in the urban parts of India, even if they are not privileged, have a certain awareness and they have a certain access by just being a part of urban India. And if you know India really well, India lives in many centuries. So this is tapping into rural, underserved, highly meritorious and gifted students from an India which still lives in a different century. Vidyagyan is an institution with the highest standards that any of us here would consider worthy sending our children to, but it's for rural students. All the students at Vidyagyan are first-generation learners, and the household income of a student is only $5 a day. Every year, Vidyagyan, and this is run privately by Vidyagyan, so it's not in partnership with the government, we test 250,000 students across the state, and we induct only 400, beginning in the grade 6, which is the beginning of the residential school. That's a 0.2% acceptance rate. Why? Vidyagyan is addressing the problem of leadership and not the problem of education. And they're two very different things. Can we create future leaders from rural India across various fields? Can we bridge the divide in access to opportunities between the urban and the rural? Still a work in progress, but in the past 15 years, Vidyagyan has only had 5 students drop out, a sustained 50-50 girls to boys ratio, 4,000 alumni across India and the world, 100% students going into higher education, challenging every bias, challenging every scarcity. Leadership is one of the most scarce resources, often not visible, but one has to go looking for it, and it can come from the most unlikeliest of places. The best of innovation and the most unique problem-solving capabilities are rooted in scarcity. I have no doubt that many of you in this room will create solutions to address innumerable scarcities, which in turn and in time will create an abundance of solutions. It's almost cyclical. But only leadership can ensure the choice of abundance and, more importantly, the equitable distribution of that abundance. Especially to the future leaders present here today, since I'm a first-time co-chair, what links generational contracts from last year's theme to confronting scarcities from this year's theme, in a lot of ways is the most scarce resource. Effective, resilient, functioning, and often uncomfortable multi-generational leadership. Today, disruptive and new technologies is a relevant and key example of the abundance which is to come. Hence, I believe that scarcity is the most challenging, yet the most exciting opportunity. It creates hunger. It creates fire. To create and to navigate new abundances coupled with new leaderships. Thank you. I would now like to invite Professor Ammann on the stage.
Good morning, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, dear colleagues and guests. It is my great pleasure to welcome you today to the 53rd St. Gallen Symposium at the University of St. Gallen. Designed as an intergenerational dialogue between business and academia, the symposium has become a fixed date in our calendar. As the president of the University of St. Gallen and a member of the Board of Trustees of the St. Gallen Symposium, I'm excited to see what we will experience and learn together over the next 2 days. Confronting Scarcity is the title of this year's conference. The topic is a perfect fit for the University of St. Gallen because confronting scarcity, which is the central concept in economics, is our daily business as a leading business university. At the University of St. Gallen, we are well aware of the limited resources upon which we rely. That is also the reason why we have intensified our research on sustainability. And according to the Financial Times, we now rank in the top 3 European business schools for publications on the Sustainable Development Goals. Scarcity forces us to compete, to become more efficient, and to prioritize our needs. In other words, scarcity can be a powerful driving force of innovation. As a leading business university in Europe, we empower our young talents to explore new business models that allow us to decouple economic growth from resource consumption. Speaking of talents, dear ladies and gentlemen and honored guests, I would like to thank our students who are responsible for this year's symposium. It is a huge achievement to organize such an event, and we are very proud that we have such engaged and capable students at the University of St. Gallen. Thank you for dedicating so much time and effort to make this experience possible for all of us. Now, I am very much looking forward to the opening session titled Towards a New Era of Protected Scarcity. I would like to take this opportunity to welcome our honorary guest, Federal Councillor Karin Keller-Sutter. Karin Keller-Sutter was born and still lives in the canton of St. Gallen. She is an honorary senator of our university. In other words, she is our federal councillor in Bern. It is therefore a very special pleasure for us to welcome you today as a keynote speaker at the St. Gallen Symposium. Let me now hand over to our topic leader, Judith Witwer, editor-in-chief of Süddeutsche Zeitung, and herself, as it could be any different, an alumna of the University of St. Gallen. I wish you a fruitful and rich discussion and an enjoyable 2 days at the University of St. Gallen. Thank you very much.